Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's my great pleasure to be invited by the organizer to be part of this great discussion. Not only just myself, but also my colleague Isabel, who will deliver the second part of this presentation. I know we are behind the schedule, so I will try to speak very, very briefly to save some time for lunch. I myself is the country manager for Solidarity Network in China, responsible for the operations, Solidarity operations in the country. For the first part of the presentation, I will very briefly talk about the environment and sustainability situation in China. After Chen Mao's era, the Communist Party and the government adopt reform and opening up policy, and they had been actually 4 decades quite rapid economic development in China. And to describe that kind of rapid economic development, we could borrow a Hollywood film, The Speed. Within the film, there's a bus on the street of Los Angeles, and a bomb was planted on the bus. If the bus ran behind 50 kilometers an hour, then the bomb will be exploded. That quite vividly reflects the China situation. Without a rapid economic development, the employment and social instability could happen to jeopardize the role of the Communist Party and the Chinese government. Then recently, especially in the recent 3 or 4 years, Chinese economy actually experienced a very big difficulty, and the speed slowed down quite significantly to kind of 6 to 7% increase in terms of the GDP. That was called by the Chinese leaders as the China's new normal. This was from actually our current president, Mr. Xi Jinping. Clean water and green mountain is mountain of gold and silver. Also not that translates properly in terms of the grammar, but if it reflects the new realization of the Communist Party and the Chinese government. The wealthy of good environment and the healthy of the people should be included in the calculation for the wealthy, for the power of the country. In the past decades, actually dramatic changes happened in terms of the whole dynamics in terms of the environment and sustainability. Basically, 3 facts singled out. Leadership will understand the situation and is taking serious measures to address the issue. And also a existing system which is so big and diffuse and has a huge momentum for growth, and that's very difficult to address by the government and the leadership. And also emerging civil society and media on the side of the environmentalism, which is very interesting. And also as a Chinese citizen and also as a staff within the Solidarity Network, and also as an environment professional, worked for different organizations like UNDP, UNICEF, CDP. I'm here to just try to offer several pieces of humble suggestions for strengthening the cooperation and partnership between China and South American countries. Number 1, engage with the Chinese government I'm not talking about just the associations, those industry associations, but also, or even more importantly, the key departments within the Chinese government. They are decision makers. And China as a whole, as many of you understand, the whole government is actually the parent company for lots of state-owned companies there in China. And secondly, get the evidence chain solid between deforestation, which is happening here, and the purchasing behavior in China. The third piece of suggestion is to borrow experience from the EU South America cooperation. Not only just China, but also European countries purchase lots of agriculture products from this part of the world. So lots of experiences could be learned from that cooperation. Lastly, be innovative. As we all know, many years ago, and the Kyoto Protocol, there are three kind of market mechanisms. One of them was CDM, stands for Clean Development Mechanism. For developed countries, rich countries, they contribute a certain amount of money and technology to purchase quotas from developing countries, including Brazil, countries in this part of the world, and also China. So that helped a lot in terms of making the cooperation to be continued. So under the new situation, innovation is very much needed in the new context. I'll stop here and I'll hand off to Isabel for the second part of the presentation. Thank you so much.